Welcome to Table for One. I'm the narrator, and in today's video, I'll be doing a solo playthrough of Anachrony. In this video, I'm going to try and showcase the three modules that I did rules videos on this week. So those are alternate timelines, Neutronide Buildings, and Variable Anomalies. Let's get rolling. Alright, so I'm all set up to play a solo game of Anachrony, and I just released today 3 rules refresher videos for different modules for this game. One was the alternate timeline, one was Neutronide Buildings, and the last was Variable Anomalies. So in this solo playthrough, I'm using all of those. So I am, of course, going to try and win against the Chronosis today, but I am going to have a little bit of a focus of trying to interact with all of those modules a little bit. So I might do things that are maybe a little suboptimal just to kind of demonstrate how those things work. So the alternate timelines, I just shuffled up the 9 timeline tiles and then placed them out at random. So these are the ones I got. For the Neutronide buildings, I shuffled them into the top half of each stack for these buildings. So the Neutronide factory is right here on the secondary stack, and the Neutronide power plant is right here on the top of that stack. We haven't seen the life support or the lab yet. And then, of course, we've got the variable anomalies here. So we've got a secondary stack of those, and I have my anomaly remover here for me. The Chronosis does not need one, of course. And then again, I am aiming to do Anachrony videos like roughly every other week for the next few months here to try and go through all of the modules. So as I do that, I'll cycle through the different paths. So I've got Path of Harmony today. I'm playing on the B side, so a couple things to point out there. So for these 2 exosuit slots, I can pay 1 energy core as normal, or I can pay 3 water to activate them, so that's kind of nice. And then each exosuit spot that I don't use, I get 2 water instead of 1. My morale track starts 1 space lower, but if I can get it to the top, I'll gain more victory points than the normal. I'll gain 3 each time that I try and raise it. And this first spot for which is it here? First spot for life support and the first spot for a factory. Each of those costs an additional water, 1 water. That's not normal on the A side of the boards. And then finally, when I get my 3rd paradox, when I should gain an anomaly, I could choose instead to remove any building. And then I've already got my starting resources here. I've got 1 extra water because I'm the 2nd player. The Chronosis is player 1. My evacuation conditions, I've got the B side here. So I need to have 6 occupied building slots, and I'll get 2 victory points for that. And then I'll get an additional 3 victory points for every building and administrator I have. And my leader is Patriarch Halani, so that means I can take a free action to place a worker on any worker spot on my player mat, which includes this anomaly spot as well. So that's like a free action I could take and then take another action, so that's kind of cool. And then the endgame condition cards with the Chronosis. This one here is I'll get 1, 2, or 4 victory points if I have 8, 10, or 12 occupied building spots. So that pairs really well with this evacuation condition of having 6 occupied building slots, and knowing that I've got the Neutronide buildings and I'm trying to use them specifically in this game. You know, I might try and get 3 factories plus another Neutronide building. I see there's this factory one is already available, so I might try and grab that quickly. So, you know, that goal and this evacuation condition and that idea of Neutronide buildings, they all kind of go together. So I'll probably be doing something along that route. And then the next solo goal up there, I'll get 1, 2, or 4 victory points if I time travel 5, 7, or 8 times. And really that means if I get to spot number 5, 7, or 8 on this track. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 spots in total. I did manage to get to that 8th spot in a previous game. It was a 3-player game, but I was playing with a different path. So I don't know if I'll be doing that today. And then the last goal up there, I get 1, 2, or 4 victory points if I end the game with 3, 6, or 9 breakthroughs. And that does not really have any synergy with other things that I just talked about. So that'll probably be the one that I focus on the least, but who knows? That's just the plan going in. And then we're obviously in the first era here. I've got a token here for the Chronosis. You don't actually need one, but I just like to have it. And then I've got an empty bag here. The Chronosis gets, I'm using the cardboard for Chronosis and acrylic for me for these energy cores. So 5 energy cores, whoopsie, 5 energy cores, and then 5 of the empty or spent energy cores go in there as well. We're just going to shake those up. And that's how the Chronosis decides how many suits to power up each time. I should really make like a custom bag for this. I just happen to have this red one lying around. I used to use it for Voidfall for bounty tokens, and then I made a custom bag for that. And so I should probably make one for Anachrony. All right, that's shuffled pretty good. And I think it'll be a little bit clumsy, but I want to use these mech suits over here for the Chronosis, just because it's cool to use the suits. And then I've just got the standard setup here with these 3 variable tiles. So just the base ones for Chronosis. So on this space, Chronosis does nothing. On this one, Chronosis gains 2 victory points. And on this one, Chronosis gains a energy core. So with all that being said, I think we're ready to start the game. So I've done all the preparation stuff for the first era. We don't need to do that step. So there's 2 super projects here. Continuum Stabilizer allows you as one time to remove 3 warp tokens from the timeline. That's not super helpful right now, maybe later, but I don't know that I'm going to do that. And then Ultimate Plan, I seem to get that one in every game I play. Just every super project is worth an additional 3 victory points. So I'm not real interested in either of those, but that's okay because I think right away I want to grab this Neutronide factory and then start getting power plants and other buildings. So it's the first era. We skip the paradox phase. We go to the power up phase, and Chronosis is first. We are pre-impact, so I'm going to draw 3 tokens out of that bag. And Chronosis is going to power up 3 plus however many energy cores I draw here. So I've got a spent one, a good one, and another spent one. So we put 1 of the exhausted energy cores back in the bag, shake it up. These 2 get removed from the game, and since 1 was powered, the Chronosis will power up 4 suits this era. So let's grab 4 of these and move them over. All right. And how many am I going to power up? I know at least 3. I might as well take the 3 free ones. But I've got, let's see, 2 scientists, 2 engineers, and then 1 tired genius. So I have no administrator and no way to go get one, I guess. I can have this guy go get an admin, and then I can have an admin go get a genius. That would be a lot of recruiting. But I just have no admins and no way to get a genius until I either wake this one up or get an admin or another genius. So I think I'll be wanting to go there, and I definitely want to build. So I might recruit and recruit again and build. But if I want to build this Neutronide factory, I'm going to need a gold as well. So I'll either have to go to the mine or I'll have to use a warp tile to get the gold. So let's assume I'm going to try and go to a mine. So I need to power up 1 more, spend this energy core, and now we go to the warp phase. So the Chronosis is going to be placing warp tiles first, but I need to decide independently before I see how many Chronosis will be placing, how many do I want to place. So we look at this first alternate timeline tile over here. The first space is blank, the second is a victory point, the third is low morale, and the fourth is a double bonus. And I guess I didn't think about this. I could warp back an administrator. So I've got a lot of water, and I get water for it. Well, I guess before we do that, I didn't power up these 2 suits, so I get 2 more water for each of those. So that's 4 more water. So I think I will actually warp back an administrator, which will cost me a water, but it could save me a trip with one of my suits, that I can use it for something else. And maybe I'll take a neutronium too, because there's no other way to, there's none in the mines. I don't really want to have to trade for it. And I'll need one to buy, to build a power plant. And I'll want the power plant to be able to pay back this administrator later. So I think I'm going to take these 2, which pretty much guarantees that my morale track is going to go down 1. So I either want Chronosis to roll a 0 or a 2. If they roll a 0, I'll just get these 2 spots and I won't lose the morale. If they place 2, I'll lose the morale, but I'll at least get a 2x, which would be really nice. But chances are they'll roll a 1, and then I'll get 1 victory point and lower my morale, which is not ideal, but it's not the end of the world either. So let's find out what Chronosis is going to do. 1, okay, yep, that's what we expected. So we need to put down 1 warp tile, and this is a blank space, so nothing happens for Chronosis. And then I place these 2, so I'm going to get 1 victory point and lower my morale. Let me do those 2 things first. Here's a victory point. I lower my morale, and then I pay 1 water to get my administrator. So I've got 1 of those, and I get 1 neutronium. Okay, so that's it for the warp phase. It's time for actions, and the Chronosis is first, so we need to roll. 3. Just made a big mess. I gotta find a place to roll this dice, but 3 for Chronosis. So that is the build life support action. So Chronosis is going here. And of the 2 life support tiles, this one is worth 2 victory points. This one is 1. So Chronosis takes this one. That's kind of fine with me. I wouldn't mind getting that one. And then the 3 token advances to this spot. Now it's my turn. Oh, and that just revealed the next Neutronide life support as well. So 3 Neutronide Buildings. Like I said, I shuffled them in the top half, but there's 16 in each stack, so I thought some of them might be a little lower. I don't know where the lab one is yet. And so I really want both of these buildings. Neither of them's really in danger of being picked up. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this administrator and recruit a genius. Let's grab 1 of those. And let's take an energy core as the bonus. I could use that. And now it's back to Chronosis. So we're going to roll. 5. Well, that's okay. That's why I took the action I did. So the 5 is recruit. So Chronosis comes to this spot here. There's no genius now for them to take, so next would be an administrator. So they do that. And then no matter what type the Chronosis recruits, they always get 1 victory point. So we'll just pile those up there. And it's back to me. So I'm going to take a genius and send them to the mines, so that way the genius will come back motivated. And I know I want gold, and titanium would probably be good. So I'll go here. I'll grab this titanium and that gold. I've got plenty of titanium, but it's not going to hurt to have a little more. I know I'm going to want to build a lot of things. So roll for Chronosis. 5 again, and I did not move the token. All right, so Chronosis is going to do a breakthrough. Fine by me. That's not a spot that I wanted. And the Chronosis only rolls the shape die, but I'm just going to roll them both because I'm going to have to pick anyway, and I'll just randomize it. Where could I roll? I got to make some more room here. All right, so we've got a circle with a clock. So Chronosis will gain 1 of those. Circle with a clock. And now we advance that token. There we go. So if we look, we've got 2 build, what is that, power plant actions, 1 build factory, and then a time travel action. And so there's a really good chance Chronosis is going to build on the next turn. And so I think I might want to leave that spot open so that they take it, and then I can go and take that spot and be the first player. Then again, if I do that, I'll likely only get to build once this turn. I think I'd really like to build twice. So maybe I'll sacrifice being first player, and I'm going to build now, or hope I get lucky. So I'm going to go here, so that's going to cost 1 water. And I'm going to build this factory here, so that's going to cost me, let's see, I used an engineer, so 1 less titanium. So 1 titanium, 1 gold, and 1 water. And I get this Neutronide building. So I can put an engineer there, and they will come back motivated, and I spend 1 water and gain a titanium, plus 1 standard resource for every power plant I have. So that's motivation to build some power plants. And now Chronosis is up again. That is a 4. So building a factory. So there is only 1 factory available. It's this one. 2 victory points. The one I just picked up is only worth 1 victory point, so I wasn't in any danger of losing it. And now it's my turn. Oh, but because they built, I got to move their mech, right? So now I'm going and I will use my engineer and I will take this other spot here. So that's going to cost me 1 water. And I'm building a life support system. So that's going to be 1 titanium and 1 water. So I get the 1 titanium discount with my engineer. And I'm building this life support. So that one, whenever I motivate my workers, it's half price. So that is really nice for me. So that should allow me to push this track and have even more abundance of water. So that'll be really helpful. So Chronosis goes now, has no mechs left, rolls a 4. Oh, but that's no action. So they just skip it and I go again. What in the world am I going to do? Well, maybe this is a little bit silly, but I'm going to... Does this need to be a double action? Not really. Let's do it though, just to show it. So I'll take this free action to place a worker, and I'm going to place a scientist here. And so I can pay 4 water to motivate, but because of this life support I just got, it's only going to cost me 2 water. Pay half. So we'll see if we can start inching this track up now. So I did that. That motivates this genius, and this was a free action that I just took. So now I can take another action, and I will put my genius here, pay 1 water, and then I gain 1 titanium plus 1 resource for every power plant I have, which is none right now. But really that was just a way to get another titanium and start moving this morale track up, because I can score for that if I can get it higher. And it kind of undoes the lost morale I got on the alternate timeline there. So now it's back to Chronosis. Let's roll this. Another 4. So the Chronosis wants to go to the mines, but doesn't have a suit. So Chronosis passes, and I'm going to pass as well because I don't have anything I can do. And so now we go to the cleanup phase. And so it's not time for the impact. It's not the end of the game. So I'm going to recover all the suits, place the workers in the motivated or tired column as appropriate for whatever action space they're on. Draw the next card for the mine and for the recruit pool. Advance the focus markers and reveal the next super project and refresh all the buildings, including the variable anomaly. Treat that as a building for that purpose as well. So I'll zip past all that and then see you in the preparation phase of Era 2. All right, so we are in Era 2 now, and I've done the preparation phase. So the next super project is Tectonic Drill. I really like that one, but I don't know if I need it with this factory that I've got here, as long as I can build some power plants. But it's time for the Paradox phase, so I'm going to roll because I have the most warp tiles here. So let's hope for, I guess, a 0, right? Oh, that went off the table. Try again. 1. All right. So 1 Paradox token for me. The Chronosis does not need to roll. And we go to the power-up phase again, and Chronosis is first player, so let's draw 3 from the bag. I've already got 3 suits over there. Where? There. Because they start with 3 plus whatever we draw. So 3 tokens. 1, exhausted energy core. 2, a powered up energy core, and 3, another powered up energy core. So the exhausted one goes back in the bag, and these 2 are spent for 2 more suits. That's a lot of suits. And now I need to power up, and so I'm going to want at least 3. Let's think about what I might want to do this turn. Well, it might be good to build a power plant, and then probably good to use a power plant to go back and pay off at least one of those warp tiles. So if I pay off the neutronium, I'll need to go to the mines to get another neutronium. So we've got a build action, go to the mines action. There's 2 admins there plus a genius, and I need admins for the end of the game, and I've only got 1, and I need to pay it back at some point. So maybe I should try and recruit once or twice as well. So I guess I'll want at least 1 more suit, and I'm going to pay for that with an energy core. And now for the 2 empty spots that are left, I get 2 water each. 1, 2, 3, 4. I went through a lot of water last round. And now it's time for the warp phase. So again, Chronosis will go first. The first 2 spots are both blank. The 3rd spot is to gain a Paradox token, and then the 4th spot is to advance the morale marker. So I think chances are pretty low that I'll get to advance that morale marker. I would need the Chronosis to roll a 2. So So that's a 1 in 6 chance, and then I'd also have to put 2 more warp tiles on the timeline, and I don't love the sound of that. So I think I'm going to put no warp tiles this time. So let's roll for Chronosis. Blank. All right, no warp tiles for anybody. So now we are into the action phase, and Chronosis is first player, so let's roll. And we've got a 5 first, so that is going to be build a power plant. So we take a build action. This one is 4 victory points. This one is 1. So Chronosis takes the one that's worth more and then advances that token. And I think I'll start with my leader's free action. I'm going to send a scientist down here again. 5 water to move the morale track up. So half of that rounded up is 3. Pay 3 water. And now this track goes up, and all of my people wake up. So I get an administrator, 2 engineers, and 1 scientist. And that was my free action. So now I'm going to take another action, and that is just going to be to take an administrator in a suit and go recruit another administrator. So I'm going to need some of those. So I get 1 victory point for that. Getting the admin, and now the Chronosis goes 4. All right, that is the mines. Oh no, man, that stinks. I don't know why I didn't think about that. So Chronosis is going here and taking that uranium and that neutronium that I really wanted. And this advances to here. And so I guess I'll take a genius and go recruit again. That's going to cost me 1 water. And I think I'll recruit this other genius before Chronosis can get it. And for my bonus for that, I think I'll take the scientist bonus and get 2 water. So I'm up to 5 water. Let's fix that guy. And Chronosis goes next. 4 again. So Chronosis is going to build a lab. I was kind of waiting for them to build. So this lab is worth 1. This one's worth 2. So they take this one, advance the token, and now I'm going to build. So I'll use an engineer, and the build slots are taken, so I'm going here. So that's going to cost me 2 water. And I'm building a power plant. So it's going to cost 1 neutronium, only 1 titanium because I've got the engineer, and 1 water. And I'm going to take the Neutronide one. Why not? So put that there. And I get the first player banner too. Swap these. So that's pretty nice. Let's roll for Chronosis. 4. So this is they recruit a genius if possible, and that's not possible, so otherwise they're going to take a breakthrough action. So I'm glad I got that genius when I did. I'm not really interested in the breakthroughs. We're just going to roll both of these. And we've got a square with DNA on it. So that's what the Chronosis will take. You know what, maybe, hold on, maybe I'll keep my resources here. That's a little more out of the way for rolling these dice. Okay, so breakthrough. There we go. The square with the DNA goes there, and the number 4 token advances, and it's back to me. And I will be sending a genius to go recruit, for 1 water, that last administrator. I think that would be very helpful. So let's grab one of those, and for the bonus, I just get 1 victory point. No choice in the matter there. Back to Chronosis, who still has 1 suit left. 4. This thing just rolls 4 every time. That is a build action, but there's nowhere to do it. So both the build slots are full, both these spots are full, so nowhere to place that exosuit. So it's a failed action, 1 victory point. And in this case, an exosuit is discarded. And we just leave the token where it is. So now it's back to me. I have no more suits, but I still have plenty of actions I can take. So let's start here with a time travel action. I put a scientist here. I can then move back 1 era. And for every power plant I have, which is 1, I get a victory point. Thank you, Neutronide Building. And while I'm back here, I'm going to pay back 1 administrator. So I can take this warp tile back. And I've successfully time traveled, so this track goes up. Great. That was a pretty good turn. Back to Chronosis. 4 again. There isn't, Chronosis has no exosuit left, so they can't send anyone to the mines. Or I'm sorry, construct. That's what this action is, construct. They can't construct. So Chronosis passes without moving the token, goes back to me. And I'm going to use this Neutronide factory, so I place an engineer there and spend 1 water. So it's my last water. And then I gain 1 titanium plus 1 standard resource for every power plant that I have. So I have 1 power plant, I get 1 more standard resource. And I think I'm going to take a gold because I have 3 titanium and 1 uranium and no gold. And now I have no more actions I can take, so I will pass as well. So we're going to go through the whole cleanup phase, and then I'll do preparation as well, and I will see you in the paradox phase of Era 3. Here we go. All right, so we are ready for Era 3 now. The new super project is Project Cabal. So when you take these capital actions, you pay 1 less water and get a victory point. Again, I'm not super interested in that one. I'm fine not doing super projects, really. There's another neutronium here. There's 2 admins to recruit. I might want to do some of that, but I am out of water, so that's going to be an issue. I'm going to have to find a way to get some water this round, and I'd like to build more power plants too. So I'm not really sure how I'm going to get all that done. But we start with the paradox phase. On tile 1, we each have 1 token. On tile 2, we have no tokens. So we each roll once, and I will roll first as I'm the first player now. I get 1 paradox token. And roll once for Chronosis. 1 paradox token there as well. And now it's the power-up phase, and I go first. I think I'll need 3 suits. Not certain. I would need another stronger power plant to be able to go back and pay back that neutronium, and I don't know how I'm going to be able to get the neutronium to build the plant. I won't have any other neutronium to go back and pay it back, so that's not really a priority, I guess. But I would like another power plant regardless, just to make some of my buildings more powerful. I think I also need a life support building, be able to get some water going. Although, if I can get this, that particular breakthrough, it's a circle with the target on it. If I can get that, I can afford tectonic drill, and that might take some pressure off of some of the other resources. So I might want to go to the mines. It would be good to recruit those admins. I don't know if I can pull that off, though. And then I might want to build a super project, maybe. Oh, but I might want to do a breakthrough. So yeah, maybe I'll do the breakthrough, and if I get what I want, then I'll build a super project. If I don't get what I want, then I can probably go to the mines and build a life support, and then I might want to build something else. I don't know. We'll just have to see how it plays out. I'm going to only put 3 suits. So I'm going to get 2, 4, 6 water. I really need that injection of water right now. 2, 4, 5, 6. Right? 2, 4, yep, okay. Let's do that. I would like to be able to do more actions, but I need the water. So now let's draw for Chronosis, who starts with 3, and then we get, there's a spent or exhausted energy core, a powered one, and another exhausted one. So 1 exhausted one goes back in the bag. The other 2 energy cores are removed from the game. So powering up 1 more suit, and I am going first. Oh no, we got to do the warp phase. Warp phase, okay. I guess this changes the equation too. And I'm going first, and the first 2 spaces are both blank, so I'm not going to get any bonuses. I'll tell you what, since I'm so worried about water, I'm going to place 1, and let's see what Chronosis does. Anything but a 2 would be good. 1, okay. So I'm going to get 2 water. Chronosis will get nothing. Had Chronosis placed 1 here, they would have gotten 2 victory points because they always get 2 victory points for every bonus tile they place on. So I'm just going to grab my water. And now we are in the action phase. I am starting. And I'm going to start the same way that I did previously. I'm going to take a free action to send an admin here because the admin will come back motivated. I've got to spend 5 water to move up. So rounded down, or half rounded up is 3. Arithmetic's like not my thing. All right, so that moves up. I get all these people back. All these workers are options. And I think I will take a scientist and go for a breakthrough, because I would like tectonic drill. So I either need the circle with the target, or I need a square and a triangle. So I might as well set this to the target and then hope for the circle. Triangle, that's too bad. It's kind of a wasted action for me then. All right, triangle with the target. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. In theory, I could get a square and still get the tectonic drill, but oh well. So let's roll for Chronosis. 3. So that is a time travel action. Chronosis is going to take this warp tile back and advance on the time travel track, and then advance the 3 marker to here. Okay, back to me. And I'm going to take an engineer and go to the mines. And I'm going to go here, I think. Yeah, and I'll take the uranium and the neutronium. Okay, back to Chronosis. 3. So that is just a couple victory points. So Chronosis is really leaving the exosuit spots open, and I didn't make many suits this time. I guess I should have powered up more. So I'm going to build for sure. The question is just, what am I going to build? And I think I got to go with the power plant. So let's use an engineer. We'll build. So I get a 1 titanium discount. So it's going to cost 1 titanium, 1 neutronium, 1 gold, and 2 water for my next power plant. And sadly, they're both the same, so I'll just grab this one to see what the next one is. So this allows me to go back 3 eras, and I get 2 victory points for having it. And now both of these Neutronide buildings are powered up a little bit more. And I have 4 buildings for my evacuation condition of needing 6. I need, 8, 10, or 12 for that scoring criteria. So I still have a lot more buildings to place. And to be a little more accurate, those symbols mean how many building spots are covered, not how many physical buildings do you have. So you can cover them with your super projects as well, or even your anomalies, I believe. So that was my turn. We need to roll for Chronosis. Where did I put that die? There it is. Okay. 4. So Chronosis is going to build. We'll likely end up taking that first player spot. Chronosis is going to build a factory. So this one's worth 2, this one's worth 3. They will take this one. That is their second factory. And back to me. And I'm going to use a scientist to take this time travel action. So I'll go back 1 era, I suppose. And I'm not going to do anything there, but now I get 2 victory points because I have 2 power plants. So that's going to be, I've got 4, that'll bring me up to 6. So that's just a point grab. Back to Chronosis, who's got a lot of exosuits left. 3, and that is construct a super project, and they'll take the first player spot. Yuck. So let's move an exosuit to here. I'm going to lose my banner. And the Chronosis is going to spend any 1 breakthrough tile, it doesn't matter which, and take the highest value super project that's face up either in the past or present era, past if tied. So the one I want is 6. This one is also 6, and luckily that one's further back in time. So the one that I want will still be available. And then all other effects of the super project are ignored. It's just for the points. We advance the marker, and it's back to me. I get to go again. So I'm going to send a genius here in place of an engineer. I have to spend 1 water. I gain a titanium plus 1 resource for every power plant I have. So I can get 2 standard resources now. And I think I'll take a gold and another titanium. So even though I didn't get the tectonic drill, I've got plenty of resources, so that's nice. The one thing I failed to do was build a life support, and that is something I'm going to feel sooner rather than later. So that was my turn. Now we go to Chronosis. 4 again, and that is nothing. And I don't have any other actions to take. If I had a Neutronium, I could send a Genius here, or even an Admin there, to time travel and pay back that Neutronium, but I don't have a way to do that. And I'm not going to spend the worker for no reason at all. So I guess I am passing for the rest of the era, and we'll just let Chronosis finish out. They've got 2 suits left. That is a 5, so they gain a power core. So one of these goes back into the bag. Advance the token. Fix the timeline. They should lose points for rupturing the timeline with that roll. Come on, Chronosis. Here we go. That's a 5 again. So Chronosis will recruit, and they will take the Engineer, and then gains 1 victory point regardless of worker type. So they've got 4, so we'll just give them a 5 token. And then we advance the 5 token, and there we go. Roll again. 2. So that is a build action. That'll be the last suit they use this round, and they are building a power plant. This one's worth 3, this one's worth 2, so they're taking this power plant. That is their second power plant. Advance the token, and roll again. Whoops, it got away from me, but it was a 2. And that would be going to the mines, but they don't have a suit left, so they pass without advancing the token. So once again, we have reached the end of the era. I will do the cleanup phase and then preparation for era 4, and then we will go into Paradox. So I will see you there. All right, so we're ready to hit the Paradox phase of era 4. The new super project on the other side of the asteroid impact is a Grand Reservoir. I shifted all the building stacks. I still haven't seen the Neutronide lab yet. The 2 life support systems are just terrible for me. This is the one I already have, and this one is just 1 time gain 3 water, and then gain 1 water as a free action, and I need more water than that. And then there's still no Neutronium here, which kind of stinks. And then the recruit pool is the exact same as it was last time, so that was easy to refill. So let's roll for paradoxes, and Chronosis is first player and has to roll 1 time. Blank, that figures. And I have to roll 2 times. There's 1, and I can stop rolling at that point because I get another paradox token, which causes me to have to take an anomaly or get rid of a building. And I don't think I want to get rid of a building, so I'm taking an anomaly. And I'm going to take this one. This one's really not bad. So no matter what era it is, I get to retrieve a warp tile. So let's take this one off the timeline. That makes me feel better. It's worth -4 victory points, and leftmost space is here. So now it's the power-up phase, and Chronosis goes first. So let's draw 3 tokens. Not sure how many tokens are in this bag. Feels like maybe just 4. Let's draw. Here's 2. Exhausted power core, a powered power core. Yeah, there's 2 more in there, so we'll grab. Oh, and another powered power core. Okay, so the exhausted one goes back in the bag. These 2 are removed, and then 2 more suits for Chronosis. They're going hard on suits, which I would like to do, but I feel like I'm going to need the power cores after the impact. So what am I going to do? I might want to do the breakthrough. I might go for a breakthrough so that I could build that tectonic drill. So I need a breakthrough. I need to build the super project. And I think it might be a good idea to go get some water out up in that top left corner that way. Or that's at least a decent backup plan. I could recruit a second time. I could potentially build something. So I think, 4 suits. 2 are empty, so I get 4 water. What did I say? 2 suits? 4 suits I powered up. 2 empty spots. Gets me 4 water. And now it's the warp phase. And Chronosis goes first. The first space will get Chronosis 2 victory points. It would get me 1. There's a blank, and then another victory point spot, and then a reduce morale. So I only have to worry about that reduce morale if I do 2 tokens and Chronosis also does 2 tokens. So I think I'll I'll do 1 warp token for 1 gold. I might as well do something because there's a decent chance that I'll get victory points. And I can increase my time travel track. Yeah, maybe I'll do a titanium as well, because that's easy enough to pay back. Sure, so I'll do 2. Let's roll for Chronosis, who is going to place first. Blank. Okay, that works out okay for me. So I get a gold and a titanium and a victory point. And I've got a couple of power plants, so there's a decent chance I could just pay these back next time and move my time travel track up. So now it's time for the action rounds, and Chronosis is first. So let's roll. A 4. Okay, that is going to mean going to the mines. So Chronosis is going to go here, take a gold and a titanium, and that is now 1 of each. So we're going to clear this, and they get 5 victory points for that. 5's a lot. And that was the 4, so we advance that token. Okay, now what am I going to do? Well, I think I'm going to take this free action to use my admin to wake everybody up. And that's going to cost 3 water. That's a lot of water. We go up. You wake up. You two wake up. And then I take that scientist and I go do a breakthrough, and I don't really care what it is. I'm going to set it to, what do I have? I have a triangle. I'm going to set it to square now and roll for the symbol. And we got the target. And that was my turn. So back to Chronosis. 4 again. We like the 4s. So they're going to build a lab. Go here. This one's worth 4, so they're taking that one. There's the Neutronide one. Ooh, I might want that. That changes the equation a little. All right, so I need to take a scientist. This is the only way this is going to work, I think. And go here and get 4 water. 2, 3, 4. Okay. That's not the best action in the game, but I think I really needed to do that. So we roll for Chronosis. We get another 4. So they're going to recruit a genius if they can, but they can't. So instead, they're going to get a breakthrough. And we're just going to roll both of these. A circle with a DNA. And I like that because they already have a circle, so that won't get them as many points as it could. There we go. Now it's me, and so I'm going to use a genius in place of a scientist here to time travel. So I go back 1 era, and I get 1 victory point for each power plant that I have, and I have 2. So 2 victory points, and now I'm going to pay back my 2 water. So I get my warp tile back. That's a successful time travel. So this goes up, and that was that turn. So back to Chronosis, who's got 2 suits left. A 3. And that would be remove an anomaly, but Chronosis doesn't have one to remove, so I just get a victory point. And back to me, and this will be cool. I'm going to take an engineer and go build. So it's going to cost me 1 water. And I want to build in this slot here for a lab. So 1 uranium, 1 titanium with the discount, and then 2 more water. And I'm taking the Neutronide lab. So that goes there. And now 1 time for each power plant I have, I can take any of the capital actions. And I have 2 power plants. So I could take 2 capital actions. And the first is going to be a build action. And my focus marker is here. So I'm going to build this super project, which is going to cost me, I don't get any titanium bonus when I do it this way. So 3 titanium, 1 gold, an engineer, and a square and a triangle. So let's pay these breakthroughs back. And I'm going to take this and place it here on this factory space, because it's got to go as far left as possible, and I think I might still want some life support. So now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 spaces covered. You know, one of them's an anomaly, but it's enough for my evacuation criteria, and then I've got at least 1 point up there, so I'd like to cover a few more. And now every time I go to the mines, I get 1 more standard resource, so that's pretty cool. And that was my first action here. So now I get to take another action. Do I want to build something else perhaps? I don't think I'll have the titanium to build anything else, and I don't know that there's anything else I necessarily want right at this moment. And I don't think I need another breakthrough, so I guess I'm going to recruit. And I'll recruit an administrator, and I get 1 victory point for that. So that was pretty nice. Oh, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so I'll trade these in. So now Chronosis gets to go. I hope Chronosis rolls a 3 and builds a life support building to just clear that one and maybe put a better one on top. 4. So that's going to be build a factory. Not as useful for me. So that's a build action. It's going to take up that first player slot again. And so of the 2 factories, they're both worth 2 victory points. So it takes from the secondary stack, and that is the 3rd factory. So it won't build another one of those. And we advance that token, and it's back to me again. And I'm just going to take one of my admins, go recruit the other admin here. I need to pile some of those up as we're getting close to evacuation. So I get a victory point for that. And Chronosis goes again. 5. So that is going to be breakthrough. So we'll roll these again. Well, that made a mess. It's a square with the target on it. These were both here. All right, so there you go, Chronosis. That was 5. Go to here. And that got bumped at some point too. Let's put that there. So I'm going to send a genius here. I've got to spend a water, which hurts, but I gain a titanium plus 1 more research, or 1 more 1 resource for each power plant I have. Excuse me. So I'm going to take a gold and probably another titanium, because that's what I got for free this time, and I'm going to need to pay it back. So we go back to Chronosis and get a 2. So that's going to the mines, and they don't have a suit left, so they're going to pass without advancing the marker. And that is the end of the 4th era. So now we're going to have the impact. So I'm going to go ahead and do the cleanup phase with all the extra stuff for impact. So there'll be 1 neutronium at the top here. I'll flip over the evacuation board. I'll put all the collapsing tiles out there, and I'll block off a couple of these spots. So I'm just going to pause for a second, take care of all that, and I will see you after the impact. Good luck. All right, so we are post-impact. We are in Era 5, and I'm thinking this is going to go 6 eras if I had to guess. And I would certainly like it to, because we drew no administrators this time, and I'd really like to grab a couple of them before doing my evacuation. And that spot in particular would let me get 1 and then get a 2nd if there happen to be 2. So it'd certainly be helpful. This is nice. I really want that suit. I think I want to do that. Well, I'd like to do it this time, but scared that might be a wasted action because I don't really have anybody I want to recruit, so I'd just be using a suit to get a suit. So I guess that's all to say. I don't know what I want to do, but I don't think I'm ready to evacuate. I think I'm going to time travel twice this time. I'll bump that up a couple times. I need to do 1 more warp tile at least so I can time travel a 5th time for this scoring criteria right there. And other than that, I guess I just want to build buildings. So I don't know. We'll see where this goes. But we're in Era 5, and we are in the paradox phase. So we need to roll for paradoxes. Chronosis rolls for this space, and I'm going to roll for this space. So Chronosis goes first as the first player. Blank. That figures. And now I roll 2. That figures too. Isn't that the way it goes? That's the way it goes. I do think I want to get rid of that anomaly, but probably after I evacuate, because I'm pretty confident that counts as a building. But I guess I don't need it. I don't know. It's going to depend on how many admins I have. I got to figure out when I'm going to get rid of that anomaly. But now we go to the power-up phase, and Chronosis goes first, and Chronosis starts with 2 now instead of 3 because we're post-impact, and can only have a maximum of 4. So let's draw from this bag 3 tokens. I don't know that there's 3 tokens left. 1, 2, yeah, there are 3. Exactly 3. Okay, and there are 3 spent cores. So 1 goes back in the bag. The other 2 are out of the game. And that's all you're getting, Chronosis, and good. I'm going to definitely need this one. Oh, and that tells me for sure we're going to go another round. I have got to build this life support. It's just a one time. It gives you 8 water, but it's still better than this one. And let's see, to build it, I'll need that, and 1 water. All right, so let's see. Let's do that with an energy core. And I've got another core left. And I think I will spend it. I might be putting myself in a real bad spot for next time. Not sure. But I've got 1 empty one, so I do get 2 water for that. So I've got a whopping 3 water. I thought I would have more water than this throughout the game, but I guess this has been hurting. But we're in the warp phase now, and Chronosis is going first. So I'm in pretty low danger of getting another paradox. As long as I only do 1 token, I definitely won't get a paradox. Well, you know what? It's the end of the game. Let's go big. I'm going to do 2 warp tokens, 2 water, and a neutronium. And so now let's roll for the Chronosis, who will place first. 1. All right. I would have preferred 0, but 1 will work. So they get 2 victory points for that bonus. And then I get 1 victory point for that bonus, along with my 2 water. So I'm up to 5 water. And my neutronium. Good to have. Okay, and now we are in the action round, starting with Chronosis. I'm hoping, well, I don't know what I'm hoping. I'm hoping it goes well. 4. All right. That is no action at all. Now it's to me. And I think I'm going to take a genius and go to the mines. I think. Yeah, that's what I'll do. All right, genius, go to the mines, and I want the, what do I want? Let me grab the uranium and a neutronium. Definitely want the neutronium, I know that. All right, Chronosis is next. 2. What is that going to do? Chronosis is going to go to the mines, so that'll definitely be the other neutronium, along with that gold. And what was that, a 2? So that goes up to there. All right, back to me. And I really want both of these bonuses. There's a 50-50 chance that Chronosis will roll a build action on the next roll between the 5 and the 3. The 2 and the 4 would be better. If they roll a 2 or a 4, then I'll be able to get both of those bonuses. So that's a little bit of a risk, but I'm going to build with my genius here. So I get a 1 titanium discount for the genius and then 1 other resource discount. I think I'll make that another titanium. So I'm going to pay 1 uranium and 1 water to build another life support. And I'm grabbing this top one, which goes here. And that's a 1 time I get 8 water. So we'll take a 5. Very fancy. 6, 7, 8. And we go back to Chronosis, and we just really, really want 2 or a 4. 2 or 4. It's been a lot of 4s today, so it'll definitely be a 3 now. 2 or 4. 4! All right. So another mining action. So Chronosis will come down here, grab a titanium, and they'll grab another gold. And then the 4 moves over to here. And now I can build again. So first, I need to take a free action to place a worker. So I'll put an admin here. And now I've got enough water to pay 7 over 2. Rounded up is 4 water to wake everybody up. So I get a genius, another admin, an engineer, and 2 scientists. And now I'll take my engineer and put them in the suit and do a build action here. and I'm going to build another power plant. So it's going to cost 2 neutronium, 1 titanium, and 2 water. And I'll take this one. It's worth more, and it doesn't cost me neutronium to use. All right, so that's great for my Neutronide buildings. And that space says because I put it in the 3rd slot, I get 3 victory points for that. So I'll just take these 2 away and grab a 5. Awesome. Okay, that was in my favor. Sometimes that happens too. Let's let the Chronosis go. 3. And Chronosis does not have an exosuit to take the action on 3 to build a life support. So they are going to pass instead. And now it's to me, and the time-traveling world is my oyster. So I will send a scientist back 1 time here. Move my focus marker back. And I have 1, 2, 3 power plants, so I get 3 victory points for that Neutronide building. Nice. Making good use of that. It's pretty fun. And, and now I can repay something. Let's repay 1 gold. Get that back. And that was a successful time travel action, so I move that track up. And Chronosis has passed, so I can keep going. I will again use a scientist to time travel. And then can go up to 3 eras back. I'm going to go just 1 again and repay this titanium. Get that warp tile back. Whoops, I destroyed the whole timeline. We're okay. And now this track goes up again. So I've gone up 4 times. So I need to do that 1 more time for that scoring tradition right there. And in the meantime, it's still my turn. So I'm going to use this genius as an engineer. I need to pay 1 water. And this is my Neutronide factory. So I gain 1 titanium plus 1 standard resource for each power plant that I have. So I get 3 more standard resources. Oh, and I need to retcon this. I went here earlier and I forgot about my tectonic drill. I also get 1 more resource for that. So I need to grab 4 more standard resources. Man, I wish I scored for that. So for my 4 resources, I'll grab 2 uranium, 1 gold, and 1 titanium. So that way I've got enough resources to build both of those slots, if that's something I'm wanting and able to do. Let me take my 5 water token and turn it back into 5 ones, because that's quickly disappearing. 4, 5, okay. And that is going to be all of my actions for this era. So we're going into the cleanup phase again. The end game is not triggered because there's still 4 more collapsing tiles that are still there. So I'll do all the normal cleanup stuff, and then I will see you in Era 6. Here we go. All right, and I am back, and it is Era 6. So it is time for the paradox phase, and we both need to roll once. 1 here for Chronosis and 1 here for me. So Chronosis is going to roll first as the first player and gets 2. Great, so they grab an anomaly, and they favor the one that lets them remove a warp tile. This one does not let them remove a warp tile at all. This one does, but only if it's before the impact. So they can't remove a warp tile either way. So next they look at victory points. This one is -6. This one is -2. So we're going to take the -2. And we just ignore the effect completely. And now I need to roll. Come on, blank. 1. Okay, so I will get an anomaly as well, but I'm actually going to use my special ability instead. I need to clear all these tokens, huh? I'm going to use my special ability. Instead of taking an anomaly, I'm just going to get rid of an existing building. And I'll get rid of this one because it doesn't actually do anything for me anymore. So I'll just put it off to the side face down because this is just a one-time bonus. It was worth 2 victory points, but I couldn't use it again. So now I'll try and build maybe another life support that I can use. So now we go to the power-up phase. And Chronosis is first, starting with 2. And I think, yeah, there's still only 1 token in here, and it is spent energy core and exhausted energy core, so it just goes back in. They don't get any more bots. And now I need to figure out what I'm going to do. And I'm going to put 1 free one for sure, and I don't have any energy cores, so I have to spend 3 water to use one of those 2 spots if I want to do that. Oh, and you know what? I don't even have that spot. Luckily, the way that I played last time, I used energy cores. I didn't use all of my spots, so that's okay. I didn't break any rules, but I didn't even notice that spot gets blocked off too. Okay, good to know. So Chronosis is going to go first, but crucially, they're not in any position to do any recruiting. So I can recruit and get another suit and get some water or energy cores along with it. I'd also like to mine, and I'd like to build. And I'm not going to have enough suits for that. All right, well, that's all I'm powering up. So I get 2 water. So we're going into the warp phase. And I think I'm going to warp in another suit. Oh, and an admin. That would be helpful. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Because I'm going to evacuate this time. Oh, I got to take that into account. I'm going to evacuate, aren't I? Well, this is what I'm going to do. I'll pay the 1 water there. So let's see what Chronosis is going to do. 1. That is okay. So Chronosis goes here and gets 2 victory points as the bonus. So just grab these 3, replace with a 5. And then I'm going to place on these 2 spots, and the order does matter, and I get to choose the order. So this one's going to lower my morale, which stinks, but this one's going to be a double. And what I don't know off the top of my head is if I place the mech suit there to get 2 suits, I've only got 1 open slot. Can I still have one off to the side, or must I have a slot to put it in? I don't know, so I'm just not going to do it. But I'd really like another suit, ideally. So that's a question that I have, but I'll take the 1 suit, move the morale down. That kind of stinks, but that's what it is. But then for the admin, I will pay 2 water and get 2 admins. And that is going to be helpful. So I have 6 admins now. So now we go into the action rounds, and Chronosis is still first player, as usual with me. 5. So Chronosis is building a power plant. And I suppose we'll be first player again. So of the 2 power plants, this one is worth 3 victory points, the other one is 2. So we'll take that one, and now we move the token. And I think I need to build as well. I better do it while I can. So I'm going to send a genius here. That's going to cost me 1 water just to go there. And I'm building another life support. So that's going to cost 1 water, 1 titanium, 1 uranium. And of the life supports available, I would rather have this one. They're both worth 1 victory point. There we go. But that one will get me 6 water and a victory point for the cost of a uranium. And I think that's a good deal right now. So Chronosis is next. 4. So that is going to be build a lab. But there are no spots left to build. So the Chronosis actually discards its suit and gains a victory point. The token still advances. Okay, back to me. All right, this is going to be all right, I think. I'll start by sending a genius to the mines. And I guess uranium has some value to me now, so I'll grab the uranium and the neutronium. Thank you. And back to Chronosis, who's probably going to end up passing. A 4. Either recruit a genius or do a breakthrough. Yeah, they can't do either without any suits. So Chronosis passes and does not advance the token. So now it's just me. And I'm not going to have enough exosuits to end the game this era. So let's send an administrator to recruit. And I'll go here, which gets me another exosuit. And I'll recruit an engineer and get a power core for that. And now I can go again, and I think now is the time to send an engineer to evacuate the capital. So I need to have 6 building slots covered. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm clear there, so I get 2 victory points for that. And then for each regular building I have and each admin, I get 3 victory points. It's the, like any building symbol. I'm pretty confident that does not include anomalies or super projects. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the regular buildings. And I think about 6 admins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so 6 pairs in total. 6 times 3 is 18, plus the 2 for the evacuation criteria. I get 20 victory points for that. Let me see if I can find some 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20. That was a pretty nice move. And I can still keep going. I've got more actions. So I'm going to start by sending an admin here and spending uranium to gain 6 water. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And a victory point. How many singles I got? 3. That'll be my 4th. And I'm going to send now an admin here, spend 3 water to wake everybody up. So that goes back up to there. So I get a genius and an engineer and 2 scientists. And I'll send a scientist here to time travel. So I'm going to go back 1 era. I gain 1, 2, 3 victory points for that. I've got 4. So I leave 2 and grab another 5er. And now I'll pay back this 2 water. And that's a successful time travel action. So this goes up. And now I'll send another scientist here to go back up to 3 eras. And I'll go to here, pay back this neutronium. That's another time travel success. And I could send somebody here and spend a water to get a titanium plus 3 more resources. But I don't think I need the resources. I think I need the 1 water more. Let me take a look. What's under that anomaly? Okay. Yeah, I think instead what I'm going to do is I don't really need these admins anymore. So I'm going to send an admin here to remove an anomaly. So it's going to cost 2 resources. I'll do a gold and a titanium and 1 water. And so that admin goes there. This goes away, and that's just out of the game. So I'll put it face down off to the side. Resources go over here. I think I'll try and build a lab next era. I think that is probably my best scoring prospect. I don't think we're going to run out of capital tiles. I don't think the capital is going to collapse. I think we're going to go through the last era. So I don't have any more actions to take. I'm going to pass. I'm going to do this cleanup phase 1 more time, and then the final preparation phase, and I will see you in era 7. Here we go. All right, so this is it. We are in the final era. This is era 7, and we've done preparation, and we're going into the paradox phase. So we've still got 3 capital tiles that have not collapsed yet. I notice here that the bot needs 1 uranium in order to get 5 points, and I don't really want them to mine, although they're not really close to mining. But if I go to the mines, I'll take that top spot for the neutronium and the uranium just to stop them from getting points that way. And they're close here to recruiting a genius, and then 1 spot away on each of those tokens from recruiting anyone else. So I don't want them to get the scientist and the genius, so I might go here and recruit at least 1 of those 2. Plus somebody else, just to prevent them getting points that way too. And then my plan was to build a lab here, and looking at the 2 labs, I'm not especially interested in either of them, but this one's worth 1 more victory point than that one, so that's probably the one I would build. I lost my administrator when I got rid of the anomaly, and yeah, that's where we're at. So going into the paradox phase, again, Chronosis is first, and they need to roll for this era and for this era. They're rolling twice. So let's hope they get another anomaly. 1 and 1. Okay, that was a likely outcome. And now I need to roll just for this era. And I'm not too worried about it because I have no paradox tokens. Blank, even better. Okay. So now we power up. Chronosis goes first. I know that they're only going to have those 2 because they start with 2. We dropped 3 from the bag, and the only thing in the bag is still this spent, exhausted energy core. So just the 2 for them. So I'm going to power up 1 for free and 1 with an energy core. And I gain 2 water for the empty spot. And now we go to the warp phase. Okay, what are we going to do here? Well, I am definitely going to do 2 tokens because Chronosis goes first. Chances are there's a 5 out of 6 chance they'll do 0 or 1 token, which means that spot will be open. If they do 0, I'll have 2 and I'll get that space. If they do 1, I'll get that and that. And on the 1 in 6 chance they do both of those, well, then I'm screwed. Then I get a paradox and the victory point's fine. But what I want to do is I want to use this 2 water and put that on that 2x spot and try and get 4 water out of it. That would be really great. And then I think just, I don't know, for fun, I'll do a uranium as well. And I don't see any harm to it. I should be able to pay that back. I've got uranium. I don't plan on using all of it. So that's what I'll do. Let's see what Chronosis does. Anything but 2. Anything but 2. 1. All right, that works perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. So Chronosis gets 1 there. I'm going to put the 2 water there and get 4 water out of it. That's excellent. That's just 2 free water. And then I'll grab 1 uranium plus a victory point. That was a great warp phase. So Chronosis goes first again in the action phase here. 3. 3 is going to be build a life support. I'm just showing off Chronosis. You don't need to be first every time. These are both worth 1, so they're just going to prefer the secondary stack. And they've built their life support. And it is my turn. And I know I want to build, so I better get that done. Let me send my engineer to that last build spot. I got to spend a water to go there. And then I want to build a lab. So 1 more water, 1 titanium, and 1 uranium to build a lab. And I'm doing that just to have filled building spots and to get the victory points from having buildings. There we go. This one allows you to time travel an extra 2 spaces back, but I don't really need that. It doesn't help me in any other specific way. So back to Chronosis. Let's roll. 4. 4 is going to be recruit a genius. Oh, well, they don't get the bonus. Thank goodness. So they're going to recruit that genius. And it does get 1 victory point for recruiting. And then we advance the 4 token. All right. And Chronosis has no more bots, so I don't have to worry about them going to the mines and getting that uranium. So I think I'm going to sort of stall for a second. I'm going to use a genius to go here. And then I can time travel back 1 era. And I get 1, 2, 3 victory points for that. So I've got 3 here. Just take 2 back and get a 5. And then I'll pay back 1 of these motivated administrators, get that token back, that warp token, and advance my time travel track again. So that's pretty great. Now let's see what Chronosis does. Not much. 4. Can't take that action, no more suits. So Chronosis passes for the game. So now I can just do whatever I want. And I kind of can't believe some of the stuff I'm going to be able to do. This is going to be cool. I'll put an admin here and spend 4 water. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's all my water to wake everybody up. I don't especially need everybody awake, but I could advance my morale track. I never got that extra bonus, but I at least got the track all the way to the top. So now it's up to the 8 victory point spot. I never got the extra 3. But now I'll send a scientist, sure. I can time travel again. I'll go here, and I will pay back this powered up exosuit. How about that? I really didn't think that was going to happen. So I can retrieve this, and the time travel track is maxed now as well. So I've got a few more actions I could do. I could go here, spend a uranium, get... Oh, I should do that because there's a victory point involved. All right, fine. I'll go here, spend a uranium. I get 6 water. Let's take a 1 and a 5. There we go. And 1 victory point. And yeah, I could go here, spend a water, and get 4 resources, but I don't think there's any need to do that. That's not going to affect the score. So I'm pretty sure this is the end of the game. So I'll do some of the cleanup steps real quick here. This would collapse. This comes back. This guy's exhausted. And I'm trying to just do the stuff that sort of matters. This one comes back. This one comes back. Nobody goes away anyway. And this one comes back motivated. Okay, so now I need to untangle the continuum. I got to pay this stuff back or I lose points. So 1 uranium, I've got that. And 2 water, and I've got 6 here. So I paid that back. Great. I don't lose any points on warp tiles. So let's tally up the score, and I stole these trackers from Voidfall just to make it easier to keep track of this because I always forget. I feel like, I mentioned I should make like a bag, pull bag for Chronosis's power cores. I feel like I should make some of these for Anachrony too. But I'll start with myself. I'll be green since I was a Path of Harmony. Chronosis looks pretty yellow over there. They can be yellow. So let's start with these endgame conditions up there. So this first one is for every building spot that's filled. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 spots filled. That gets me 2 victory points. I feel like it should be a lot more than that, but 2, okay? The next one is for my time travel track, and I'm on space 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm maxed. So on space 8, I get 4 points. So I'm up to 6. The last one is for having breakthroughs, having 3, 6, or 9, and I have 0, so I don't score anything for that one. Now let me add up points here from my buildings, super projects, and anomalies. So these buildings are 3, 2, and 1, so that's 6 points. So it's going to get me up to 12. On this track, that tectonic drill is worth 6, so that gets me up to 18, plus 1 for that factory. I'm at 19. These are each worth 1, so I'm up to 21. These are each worth 3, so I'm up to 27. All right, and I don't have anomalies. So my time travel track itself gets me 16, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 43. That's a lot. And my morale track is also max. That gets me another 8. So from 43, that's going to get me up to 51. I don't have any breakthroughs, so that's not going to score me anything. So the rest comes from my victory points here, and I have a lot. I have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 46, 47. That almost doubles my score. 47. So 58. That's going to get me up to 98. Wow. That's a high score. I'm happy with that. Oh, man, close to 100. Really close. That's too bad. If it wasn't for this penalty all the way back here, then my morale track would have gone up one more time, and that would have gotten me the 3 points I needed. So thanks for nothing, alternate timelines. No, I'm just kidding. Those were actually really helpful. All right, so let's do Chronosis now. So Chronosis does not have a complete set of breakthroughs, but each one is worth a point. So that's 3 points. 1, 2, 3. And we'll take a look at these. Let me space them out a little so I can see them. They got a lot of buildings too. Okay, so 6 for that super project, so that's up to 9. And then 3 power plants, it's 4, 3, and 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's going to be 19. And then 3 factories, 2, 3, and 2. So another 7. That's going to be 26. And 3 more points. So up to 29 for life support. 6 points from labs. So that's going to be up to 35. And minus 2 points for that anomaly. 33. What else? Oh, the time travel track. That's 2 points there. Back up to 35. And Chronosis does not lose any points for all those warp tiles out there. So what have we got in victory points? 5, 10, 15, 16, 17. 3. And that's going to be it. So the final score is Narrator 98, Chronosis 53. I crushed the Chronosis this time, and that felt really good to do. That was awesome. And I feel like I made really good use of these 3 Neutronide buildings. It's too bad I didn't get that last life support one. It was early at the beginning of the game, and I just sort of missed it. But I probably really could have used it. And even though I cursed it a minute ago, the alternate timeline did help me out, and it was pretty cool overall. I liked that. It added just a small thing to think about that was fun. And then the Variable Anomalies added some interesting choices as well. So all in all, I was pretty happy with that game. And yeah, I hope that was a good showcase of those 3 modules so you can check them out and see what they're like. And realistically, like, I'm going to probably include those in every game I play going forward on this channel because they're all compatible with everything. They're just super easy to add in. There's not a lot of overhead, so might as well have them. So if you enjoy watching Anachrony and Want to see more of it? Good news, I'm going to make a bunch more of these videos over the next few months to showcase all the different modules. If you want to see that, please be sure to subscribe, and if you want to let me know that you like that, leave a like on this video or leave me a comment. That would be great too. And if you think you know somebody else who would enjoy this video, be sure to share it. That would be cool. And finally, don't forget, you can always head over to my Ko-fi page, ko-fi. There's a link in the description. You can throw me a couple dollars that way, and that is always really appreciated. I'll be sure to thank you on the next channel update video. But I think that is it for this time. Thank you so much for watching Table for One. I had an awesome time. I hope you did too. And I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you in the next video. Take it easy.